All right, this is this is day 1 of Unit 2. We are learning about matrices. Matrice is plural for matrix. That means there are usually more than one. So a matrix is a set of numbers which are made up of rows and columns. All right, elements. Elements are the individual values that are inside of a matrix. Individual values. They can be letters, they can be numbers. An element is usually named and has a subscript. Okay? So for example, it might look like A21. This is not A21. This is A21. The X is the row number. The Y is the column number. Okay, so let's look at some examples. Here is a matrix. It is called A. So you notice we have A for all of these. Now I want to know what number is in row 2, column 5. So you're going to go to row 2 and go all the way over to column 5 and you get -2. Now I want you to go to row 1, column 2, and you get 40. I want you, I'm going down instead of across. I want you to go to row 1, column 5. Row 1, column 5, 21. So I want to make sure that you understand what these little numbers mean and how to find what they represent. So row 3, column 1, 5. Row 3, column 4, 52. Row 2 is the middle row because there's 1 and 2, and it's the second column is 32. All right, that is about elements. That's each piece of the matrix. Now dimensions. All right, the dimensions you're going to look up how many rows. I'm going to pause this so I can write this all out without taking space. All right, so dimension, a matrix with m number of rows and n number of columns, so that we call it a m by n matrix. Okay, so for example, we have 1 row. So it's a 1 by, and we have 3 columns. 1 by 3. In number 8, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. And how many columns? 1, 2. Okay? Now looking at number 9, how many rows? 1, 2, 3. 3 by columns, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 3 by 4. This is 2 rows by 6 columns. Okay? All right, going through this equal matrices, it is an element, remember elements, and as each individual piece of a matrix, an element is in one, an element in one, and I'm going to pause this and I'm going to write it and then you can copy it. It's an element in one matrix is equal to the same element in another matrix. When we get to stuff about this, I'll be more specific. All right, special matrices. A row matrix is just a matrix with only 1 row. All right, with only 1 row. It looks like this. A, B, C, D, 1 row. Whereas a column matrix is a matrix with only 1 column. Get this written down. And it looks like this. 1 column. Okay? A square matrix. It's a matrix that has the same number of rows and columns. Okay? All right. right. So it could be A, B, C, D. There we go. 2 rows, 2 columns. And a zero matrix, every element is a 0. And I'll go into more detail with that when and if we get to those. All right, now the fun part, adding and subtracting. Adding and subtracting, I need you to know, very important, can only be done, you can only add and subtract if the dimensions are the same. If the dimensions are the same. So you need to start writing dimensions down. So look at W. It is a 1, 2, 3 by 2. X is a 2 by 3. So you could never add W and X because they do not have the same dimensions. But Y is also a 2 by 3. So you could add those. And Z is a 3 by 2. So only W and Z could ever be added or subtracted. All right, let's look at 11. All right, so I need to make sure I can see them all. There we go. So right now it's X plus Y. So we're going to copy X, which is 24, -8, -3. And then we're going to do -4, 6, and -17. We are going to take that and we are going to add it to Y, which is -15, trying to make sure I have enough room, 29, and 17. And then it's 9, -5, and -2. And we are going to add these together, and it will also make a 2 by 3. And I'm going to have to come into this space. Okay, so we're not going to do this one. Okay, all right, so very simply, we are adding. So we are adding 24 plus -15. 24 plus -15 is 9. Okay? We're going to keep going. -8 plus, it's going to change colors, 29. Add those together and you get 21. Then we're going to do -3 plus 17, which is 14. Then we're going to do, instead of using colors, I'm going to do it this way. -4 plus 9, which is 5. They're all going in the same spots. 6 is in the same spot on this one as over here. So 6 plus -5 is 1. And then -17 plus -2 is -19. And there is your answer. Okay? All right, let's try, I'm going to show you one subtracting. So I'm going to come down here, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, but I got to use it to write all my stuff out. All right, so I'm going to put out X. Here is X. We're going to do this again. 24, -8, -3, -4, 6, -17. There's X. Minus. This right here is what's going to, could be your demise. Really, don't forget there's a minus sign here. -15 and 9, 29 and -5, 17 and 2. So this is a 2 by 3, so we will making a 2 by 3. So 24 minus -15. Okay, this time it's 24 minus -15, which gives you 39. Okay, because it's really 24 plus 15. Then -8 minus 29. So that's -37. Okay, -3 minus 17 negative 20. Okay? All right, now on the bottom. Let me raise this up a little bit. Negative 4 minus 9 is negative 13. 6 minus, don't forget this minus, 6 minus negative 5, 11. Negative 17 minus 2, negative 19. Okay? That's how you subtract. Got to take into consideration these minuses and pluses. All right, the bottom half. We'll try to do this all in one video. The bottom half. Now we are multiplying. Scalar multiplication. It means distributing. So I'm going to multiply 3 times whatever x is. So 24, negative 8. Let me go up there and make sure I know what x is. I wrote it here. Negative 3. Let me do it here. Negative 3, and then negative 4, 6, and negative 17. So we're just multiplying. So 3 times 24, 72. 3 times negative 8, negative 24. 3 times negative 3, negative 9. 3 times negative 4, negative 12. 3 times 6, 18. 3 times negative 17 is negative 51. And there's our answer. And you would do the same thing here. It'd be, you can have fractions. Let's not do decimals. Let's keep it at fractions. 3/4 times all of W. All right, I'll let you practice that one. These down here, it's a little bit harder because not only do we have to do negative 5 times whatever x is, then we also have to do, and you get something, then we also have to do 2, this will make this a plus, whatever y is, and then you'll get, once you distribute this, then you're going to get an answer. I'm just running out of time, so if you need me to work this out in class, I will be happy to. But then you're going to get an answer down here that you will have to add it to the answer to this one. Okay? And remember how adding is. Go back up to the top and look. They have to be the same dimensions, which these are. So then it could be this plus this, and you're going to create a whole final answer. Okay, I'm going to let you do these on your own. The answer key is there. I want you to see if you can figure it out. Okay, same thing goes with these. In this one here, you can distribute. So this would be negative 3w plus negative 3z. So you could actually, if you wanted to, multiply, and then add them together. You could also add w and z together and then multiply the whole thing by negative 3. That also works. Same thing over here with 20. But again, when you are adding, make sure that before you can do all of this work, make sure w and z can go together, which they can. Same thing here, make sure y and x can go together because they're the same dimensions. But we'll go over some more of these in practice. I'm just trying not to make a ton of videos for you, so I want to give you enough time to do some of this on your own. You can look at the answer key, you can come in and you can ask questions if you need that.